Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. When Raymond Franz was having his doubts about his time as a member of the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, I was living in Sydney, Australia at the time, and I was attending Monavale congregation. And we got this rumour at this time. It was swirling around most of the congregations. And the rumour was that a certain governing body member was going to be removed. And the reason why they gave at the time, and I distinctly remember this, they said that this particular governing body member had jumped ahead of Jehovah's righteous arrangement. That was the phrase they used. And of course, as a Jehovah's Witness, you don't ask a lot of questions when that gets filtered back to your congregation. You accept it. It wasn't the done thing at the time to say, what? A member of the governing body wants to remove himself or have nothing to do with what he formerly advocated. See, it seems a bit of a weird one, doesn't it? But again, you accept it. You don't kick a fuss up at the time. You think to yourself that there has to be a reason for it. And so you accept that excuse and you go along with it, and you say in subsequent conversations after that, finding that out, you say, oh yeah, even the righteous will fall away, even the elect, they will fall away. So you make all these excuses up, don't you? And it's a while before you really find out that it's quite simple, that Raymond had simply become disillusioned with being a member of the governing body because he saw it from the inside.
Standing between God and the millions of Jehovah's Witnesses is an autocratic ruling council called the governing body.
I must say that it was one of the most disillusioning experiences of my life. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that this organization is God's one channel, that all of God's direction for people on the earth comes through this channel.
And once he'd seen the operations within the Bible Tract Society, he was far from impressed. And that's why he records in The Crisis of Conscience and uses the phrase, I was totally disillusioned. You will hear it in the video as well if you seek it out. It's quite honest, because I found that was the kind of person he was. He was just straight, honest, had no reason, no axe to grind. So a lot of people say, well, why did he write a book and call into question his former religion? Well, we didn't really call him into question, did he? He didn't heap fiery coal upon their heads. He didn't do that. I think he was just being totally honest and saying that having achieved that station in his life, he thought there might be more, and there wasn't. And that sometimes, people, is what can happen to any of us. We can start out as Jehovah's Witness, studying, then becoming very much engaged in the ministry work, pioneering, auxiliary, or even full-time pioneering, which I've done. I've done it. And you can do that for years and years, and you can not pursue a career, put everything on the back burner, and just do what you think is the right thing in your heart at that time. And then it takes years and years and years, sometimes before you realize that what was wrong with pursuing a career, because the system was just going on and on and on, like an Ariston, on and on like an Ariston. It's an old 70s commercial, or 80s, yeah, an 80s commercial. And with it going on and on, you're getting less and less money because you never saved up for that rainy day. And you're in dire straits before you know it. Another 80s band. They were good then. And they were like Dire Straits. Really liked them when they came out. Still got some of their brilliant albums. I digress, which I sometimes do. So all I'm saying is, people, you can say what you like about Raymond. You can say that he was disloyal. I won't say he's disloyal. I'll say he's just startingly true to himself. Just couldn't go on living, well, not just a lie. It would be a lie if he continued in it, but he stopped, didn't he? So he didn't live a lie. People that live a lie are normally those that are very calculating. So they do horrible things in their life, and they hurt people, and maybe they abuse children, and then they still think that they can go to these meetings. They are people that live lies. But some of us don't do that. Some of us realize that that's just not what we should be doing. You know, if something doesn't make you happy, then don't do it. If you're in a marriage and you're not happy in that marriage, and you're just staying in that marriage, eventually, and I don't know why people do this because I've been through divorce, but eventually, if you stay in a loveless marriage, it can really destroy you, because everybody has been designed for being able to love and being loved back in return. So you staying in a loveless marriage where you're not getting that can really, really mess with your psyche. So I wouldn't recommend that people do that. If you've got the chance to get out, get out. There's nothing wrong with being single. I'll tell you that right now. There's nothing wrong with being single at all. It has its benefits. Having said that, the love of a good partner, woman, is very supportive, and when it works well. It's when it goes south, that's when you have your problems. Anyway, back to Raymond, who I always liked. I never met him, but I did meet another member of the governing body, a name in which you'll all be very, very familiar with, Nathan Noah. So I met Nathan Noah in the Melbourne Assembly in 1969. It was only a brief meeting. He was taking the Sunday closing address. But anyway, I still count it as meeting Nathan Noah. Who was he anyway? Well, just a man at the end of the day. A man who was at the head of the organisation at that time. So he had a lot to say about where the finances went, did Nathan Noah. I think that Raymond had found out how all the finances were conducted as well at the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, and he was less than impressed with that process as well. You know, where they talk about where the need is greatest, that's where they'll send their help. Yeah, I'm sure that can be renamed that way. Doesn't mean it is that way, if you know what I mean. Goodbye for now.